Welcome to King Spotlight this week as we are joined once again by Monarch football coach Jeff Knarr. Coach, thanks for being with us again today.
Thanks for having me.
Coach, we're at the halfway point in the season and King stands at 2-3 overall and 2-2 in the MAC after playing a very challenging early season schedule. With games against Centennial Conference contender Moravian, traditional MAC contender Lycoming, nationally ranked Delaware Valley, and defending MAC champion Albright, Kings has sure been tested. Talk about the first half of the season, the competition you have faced, and how you believe it has helped prepare us for the second half of the season.
Yeah, I mean, the first half, our conference, no matter how you slice or dice it, you got to play them all, and it's very challenging and competitive. And you got to come in week in and week out with everyone on our schedule. And then Moravian, they're near at the top now. I'm not trying to be the one to knock Hopkins off in the Centennial. So it's a challenging schedule to get you guys ready and to kind of see what they need to do. And the level that they have to execute at, and how they have to take care of the little things over the big things. And our kids are learning that. Their effort has been tremendous, and in some of those games where you're playing the top teams, our execution at times was good, and at times it wasn't. And the thing we've kind of taken out at the halfway point is we just need to continue to execute better, and look at every play as a one in its own, and then just try to execute on that play, and then move on to the next play, and then keep giving that tremendous effort. So our kids have done that. We're relatively healthy, and we're just working on matching the execution with the effort we're getting as we head to the second half of the season.
Well, Coach, looking ahead to this week's game, Kings is hosting local rival Misericordia on Saturday at 1 p.m. at McCarthy Stadium. This is a Misericordia team that is in their fifth year of varsity football, and they're looking for their first win of the season on Saturday. Talk about how the rivalry has grown since they came into the MAC.
Yeah, I mean, they, in all the other sports here, it's always been a rivalry, and with football, them coming in, it didn't take too long to kind of add to that rivalry when the second time we met. It's a double overtime, exciting, football game, and it's kind of been, exciting, very competitive, the 2 years, after that double overtime game. So it's definitely a big game, on both, schedules, because it's, local game where, again, a lot of, kids that we recruited, they recruited, kids on our team know kids on Mrs. team, and vice versa, from that deal. So, they are a rival, and it's always good to be able to go out there and play well and be able to get a win against your rival.
Offensively, Misericordia graduated a quality quarterback in Jeff Puckett, who was a very dynamic runner. Their new quarterback is junior Brandon Leap, and they appear to have brought a little bit more of a run-throw balance into their system. They have 3 receivers with over 200 yards apiece and 2 very capable running backs to complement Leap, who is also not afraid to run. Talk about their skill position players.
Yeah, I mean, Leap, he's a kid we liked, at a Pleasant Valley. Thought he was pretty good there and could throw a little bit, maybe more of a polished passer than Puckett. I don't think anybody runs like the way Puckett did. I mean, that kid was amazing. We're kind of glad we don't have to see him anymore. But Leap's a bigger guy, and he's not afraid to tuck it in and run, and he can make plays with his feet. And again, he's maybe a little bit more of a pure of a thrower, so they do have some balance. Their wide receivers are big and playmaking type guys that can make things happen. So they get in time and space, and the quarterback can put it on them. They do some good things there. And the running backs, they run hard. I mean, number 8, Ricky Kurtz. I mean, he's been there for all 5 years, and he runs really hard. I mean, he runs bigger than he is. And the custodial kid from Peaburg is a typical Peaburg kid, hard-nosed, physical, tough. And both of those backs maybe are undersized as far as running backs go, but they run bigger, than they are, and they run hard, and they run fast and quick. So they have a good skill set of guys, and they're doing a good job of distributing the ball to those guys.
Well, last year you could probably prepare for them a little bit differently than you would this year, knowing that they were much of a running team last year. But now that they're more balanced, what does your defense need to do to be successful in this game?
One, we try to win at the line of scrimmage. They're big up front. They have some big linemen, and they're physical. From that deal, they still love a lot of the reading people and making decisions of handing it or keeping it. So we can reestablish the line of scrimmage. Hopefully we can get into their comfort zone with that. From there, and then again, be disciplined in our keys and our responsibilities, so that if I'm the quarterback player and then you're the dive player, you take the dive, I take the quarterback. If we both take the dive, the quarterback's going to pull it. He's going to do damage from there. We both go to the quarterback, he's going to give it to the back, and the back will do damage. So we got to be disciplined, in our assignments, and try to win at the line of scrimmage against their big offensive line.
Kings offensively has been successful running the ball against Misericordia in the past, but this season we have had more of a dynamic passing game than in previous years. I would suspect that this is a game where you are looking to get back to having that more balanced attack with the running and passing game.
Yeah, because when you have balance, it kind of gives you the freedom to use your whole call sheet. That you have every play at your disposal, and helps you kind of get into a rhythm. So we need to try to establish the run and get that going on Saturday because it really helps with everything else from all the facets of of our offense. So that's definitely something every week that we're trying to do, and we had some success a couple weeks ago, and not so much the past weeks. So we're hoping we can kind of get back on track and be able to rely on our run game on Saturday.
What are some of the strengths that you see in the Misericordia defense that concerns you?
Up front, 92. I think the Dickerson kid. I mean, he's a really good defensive lineman that everyone would love to have. They play hard. They pressure really well. Their linebackers are upper class, kids, and they do a good job of disguising their pressures. They don't give them away, and then they hit them hard, and then they keep coming. So they are pretty good with the pressure, and they do. In watching, they've gotten into the comfort zone of the quarterback and affected throws and plays from there. So we have to protect our quarterback so that he can do things well in the passing game, because the passing game is our strength. We've been fairly solid all year. Throwing the ball, catching the ball. Receivers are doing a great job with that. So we have to execute our passing game at a high level, and it'll start with being able to handle the multitude of pressures that Misericordia has.
Well, Coach, with 5 games left on the season, what are some of the areas that you still feel that we need to improve on as we head into the second half of the season?
Offensively, kind of be consistent with the run game. We can't be, running well and then not running well. So be consistent, running the football, from that deal, and then defensively, just execute, our assignments and the techniques. Last Saturday, sometimes we kind of, didn't execute our pass coverage techniques and put ourselves in bad situations to cover very good, receivers from there, and then, be able to execute the call and run it through from there. So just more of to clean up the fundamentals and techniques from a defensive standpoint, and then be a little consistent in the kick game. We're a little inconsistent in covering kicks and returning kicks. We're one block away. We get a bad thing on a punt here, and then we get a great thing. So we're trying to be more consistent in the kick game and use that as a weapon to help our offense and help our defense.
Well, Coach, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you again for joining us on King Spotlight. And good luck to you and the Monarchs on Saturday when we host Misericordia University at 1 p.m.
Thank you.